Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Rusty Dunn, your host for today's discussion on the global energy transformation and Caterpillar's role in helping you find the products and solutions to succeed in what is a rapidly changing environment. An amazing fact, Caterpillar has been in the power business for more than 90 years, and demand for power solutions continues to grow. We help make backup power possible for a diversified customer base around the world. Our diesel and natural gas engines provide prime power for electric utilities, combined heat and power for industrial customers, and critical standby power for hospitals, data centers, and other businesses that cannot afford to be without power. That's what's at stake, and that's why this conversation today is so important. All right, let's set the table. Today we'll be discussing how Caterpillar is innovating to help you keep your critical operations running, and a major part of that, the latest and greatest CAT energy control system. We'll refer to it as ECS, designed with you in mind to improve your day-to-day business. We'll be taking a closer look at this impressive new ECS in just a bit. It's an important piece of the overall puzzle. We'll look forward to showing it to you. Now, throughout today's discussion, you will be able to submit questions using the Q&A feature of this live event platform. We'll take some time at the end of our program to answer a few of the questions that come in, and hopefully we'll answer a few of the questions you may have during the course of the conversation. We do intend for this to be a constructive discussion, a helpful discussion. No matter your role or place in the universe, you may be an electrical contractor, a consulting engineer, an operator, a customer, or you're with a Caterpillar dealer. Regardless, we think this is going to be a valuable conversation. All right, with that, it is time to kick things off. Joining me for today's session is Jason Kaiser, Senior Vice President for Caterpillar's Electric Power Division, and Brian George, Product Manager for Large Electric Power Solutions. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. A real pleasure to have you.
Excited to be here. Thank you, Rusty.
Thank you, Rusty. Looking forward to the discussion.
A lot to be excited about regarding the future of electric power and Caterpillar. The energy landscape, as we know, is changing rapidly due to advances in technology and, of course, the emergence of renewable energy sources. So, Jason, let's start with you. In your opinion, what are the current changes in the market as you see it?
Yeah, Rusty, there are a lot of changes, a lot of trends that we're watching. The first is really electrification. So more and more of what we do every day is powered by electricity. You know, the obvious one is cars, with EVs starting to hit the road. You also see it a lot in our homes, more and more electric power there in what we do, all the devices we carry around. And even some of our CAT machines are starting to electrify as well. There's also a big trend around decentralization. So historically, our power system has been, a handful of really large power plants, and the power is distributed through wires to where it's needed. A lot of those plants are starting to shut down, and as they do, they're being replaced by a much larger number of smaller generating sources. It could be a solar PV field, it could be one of our gas gensets, and they're placed much closer to where people need power. We call that decentralization. We're also watching decarbonization, lower carbon energy sources being used, wind, solar, renewable fuels throughout the environment of energy sources. And we're watching digitalization as well. So real-time data, more readily available in how power is being generated, also how it's being consumed. And when you take that data and work together, you're able to do a lot more optimization. And so all those things are driving just a ton of change in the energy landscape.
Yeah, Jason, that's a powerful checklist. I mean, everything you just mentioned leads us to big opportunities. So as we continue to build on the offerings available for our customers, what does this mean for them going forward?
We've talked to a lot of customers, and as we do so, the first thing that usually comes up is power reliability. So they want to make sure the lights stay on. They want to make sure their businesses stay running. And we're very well positioned to help them with that. That's really the business that we do as CAT Electric Power is make sure reliable power is always there when our customers need it. We also have a lot of customers talking about the need for simplicity right now. The landscape, as we just discussed, is really changing. 10 years ago, if you built a new factory, you probably would have called the utility, had them hook up the lines, and that was maybe the only decision you had to make. And now you can think about on-site energy sources. Do I want solar panels on my roof? Which electric rate do I want to choose? And it can be overwhelming to customers, and they're looking for companies that can help them simplify that and get to the right decisions. And again, we're well positioned to do those things. The last area we hear about is cost. How can I manage this change in a way that keeps my costs down, helps me be successful with my business? And we think a lot about monetization in that space. Historically, our products have been a bit of an insurance policy. Maybe there when the utility goes out, how can you monetize those and use those products in a way to support economic value? And maybe we can talk a little bit about that more as we go on. But Tangent is a great way to do that. We talk about Tangent. It's a company that we acquired just over a year ago that has really fantastic capability to monitor on-site sources, one of our gensets or energy storage systems, and it can turn them on and off when the utility grid needs it, whenever the electric rates require it, and it helps that customer monetize that asset in a way to control costs.
So a lot of changes are coming for sure. Do you see growth, Jason, in this space beyond then your traditional electric power business, sort of that traditional versus transformational?
We certainly do. We think a lot about distributed power as a growth area right now. And as we think about that, it's really driven by the changes in our electricity grid. If you're the electricity grid, you're seeing a lot of those trends we just discussed. You're seeing a lot more loads being added, with the EVs, with the houses with more electric power inside. You're also having generation sources being added that are very different. A lot of wind, a lot of solar. They're great from a decarbonization standpoint, but they're much more variable because the sun doesn't always shine and the wind doesn't always blow. And that makes things really difficult for the utility grid right now to stay reliable. And we have great solutions, and we're excited about our opportunity to help. Our products, our turbines, our gensets, our energy storage systems are all great ways to support the electric grid through that change, and we think it's a great opportunity for us. We're also excited, just thinking a little further ahead, about the electrification with our mobile customers and even our own construction and mining customers. They're starting to use more electric equipment. And as they do so, they not only need the electrified equipment, they need the power to support it. When and where are they going to get the electricity they need to charge and make sure their businesses stay running? We're very well positioned to help with that, very unique as Caterpillar because we have both of those capabilities. And again, we see it as an exciting area to help our customers along the journey.
Well, Brian George, let's bring you into the conversation. I know you hear from a lot of customers in the field. So with your understanding of how these trends that Jason has been talking about affecting your customers, what do you see happening at those customer sites right now? What does it look like for a quote, typical customer?
Yeah, in reality, it's really hard to say there's a typical customer, but what we're trying to do is look overall at our customers' energy goals. And that starts by looking at how they're interacting over the utility breaker with the utility and helping them, as Jason mentioned, with Tangent, help monetize assets that they have that may be idle. That's kind of a key part of this overall picture of looking at an energy system. We do that through supplying various types of on-site power generation, from diesel generator sets with aftertreatment to natural gas reciprocating gensets to even now hydrogen-based fuel cells. Critical to have a wide range of portfolio of power solutions with various carbon intensities to meet their environmental, social, and governance goals. Next, we have energy storage. So it may be a requirement to time shift energy to get the overall lowest levelized cost of energy to a site. So energy storage becomes very important in this energy systems equation. Now, Jason mentioned the proliferation of electric vehicles, electric trucks, battery electric machines in construction and mining equipment. Having the right power system in place to effectively charge that equipment is very important, being able, again, to have the lowest levelized cost of energy for a fleet owner to manage his fleet. And then finally, you can't do any of what I just said without the very best controls to manage that overall site power solution.
Right, and you're really describing a system working together rather than just one source of power. So Jason, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on this? You've got a vision of the business. How does that fit into your vision?
Yeah, in a very simple way, we're working very hard to help customers have the right energy outcomes, as they navigate these changes. We've had and continue to have a lot of great products in our portfolio, but as we move towards the future, we're mixing them together with services and solutions to provide those outcomes in a way that helps our customers be successful, as they navigate all the energy changes.
And we've certainly mentioned controls a few times already in the conversation today. Brian, can you talk to us about why those controls are so important?
Yeah, controls, as I mentioned, it ties the entire site working together harmoniously. It is an expectation for customers today that a site is fully integrated and controls are the brains behind that. And that can range from a simple standby system where a customer just wants to be able to access real-time information off that standby genset to a full site microgrid with utility control solution. But controls bring that symphony all together working harmoniously.
We've mentioned that word emerging a few times already. Jason, in what ways are we positioned today to meet this emerging need?
Yeah, we have a lot of great products, services, solutions, tools in our toolbox today. And if you think about our control systems, we can solve a lot of problems. If you look at how we do it, though, we're not always as consistent as we would like to be. Depending on the customer's application, depending on where they're at in the world, they can have a number of different control systems on their site working to solve their power systems needs. We also see a landscape with a lot of changes in regulatory requirements and grid code requirements, and those are all things that really demand new and different control systems for us to be successful. We asked the team a couple of years ago to really step back and take a clean sheet. We knew that controls were going to be important to our future, to serving our customers' needs, and we asked the team to take a clean sheet look at it and say, what would you do different if you were going to design a control system for the future, and one that would help us be really successful with our customers moving forward.
Well, Brian, there was a big ask put out there. Tell us more about how the team responded to Jason's request for a common control system focused on enabling energy outcomes, but in a more simplified way.
Yeah, we really started by taking a clean sheet approach and with the basic premise around designing an integrated, modular, and connected energy control system. That started by looking at the user interface and upgrading and modernizing our user interface to create a consistent customer and dealer experience regardless of the complexity of the application. In addition, we built in plug-and-play features to facilitate easier commissioning and startup of our equipment. And that modular architecture helps us scale from a simple standby application up through a full customized site-level solution. In addition, we designed the control system to meet a wide variety of grid interconnect or grid code requirements.
Well, it's an exciting rollout and an important rollout, and I suspect some of our viewers, Brian, would love to know which applications will include this upgrade.
Yeah, so we designed the product line with basically 4 major recipes. ECS 100 is a simple genset controller designed for emergency standby systems. It's a low-cost but very powerful system with a modern user interface. We then step up to the ECS 200 where we add generator paralleling capability as well as CHP balance of plant controls and grid upgrade for interconnect requirements in grid code. In addition, we then moved on to the ECS 300 where we add utility breaker control, complex application control including tie breakers, distribution, etc. for a wide variety of customizable solutions. And then our ECS 400 is a full microgrid supervisory control panel.
Well, the new controller really looks great. Tell us a little bit more about it, and Brian, maybe specifically, what makes them so special, sort of the differentiation there?
Yeah. We really relied on developing a simple, scalable architecture, and that architecture is based off of a control module called the A6L3. The A6L3 is a very scalable component, so as we go up in complexity in these sites, we can layer on additional A6L3s to build the functionality, which creates advantages both from a functionality and a serviceability perspective. Also, we mentioned the touchscreen. We have an 8-inch and a 15-inch touchscreen that can be customized to any type of customer application.
Well, this really sounds like a great solution for our customers out there, and I suspect they'd love to see the new ECS 100 and 200 in action. So to take a closer look at this brand new CAT energy control system, we're going to send it over to some folks who've been at the forefront of its development.
How you doing? Vic Williams, Controls Engineering Manager for Large Electric Power. I'm here to take some time to show you our GenSet energy control system packaging. Not only are our controls inside certified to UL 6200, but they help support our overall package certification of UL 2200 3rd edition. Of course, we have our normal service ports, our normal e-stop, but we've enhanced this packaging in the controls with this new 8-inch rugged touchscreen. This touchscreen is IP66 certified and developed with the latest user experience and user interface technology. Right off the bat, the engine control switch with run, auto, and stop, a quick hot button away. Some of the other features, a quick touch, and you can switch between your AC and your engine and your GenSet overview screens. We've definitely taken the time to incorporate NFPA 110 capable annunciation. Shown here on the left side with a quick touch, and you see the hotkey allows you to the overall annunciation screen. With the ability to do the lamp test, it will cycle through all of your NFPA 110 required operations. A quick touch and we're back on the overview. Some of the most important features that we see here, language support, because this is a global product. A quick change between any of the language to support your local situation. Another quick one, switching between English or metric display units. Again, just a quick touchscreen away. And whether you go back to the overview, you can also come in and you can switch between red or green or your international or US breaker symbols. So the new touchscreen is great, but we haven't lost the core of what makes our current controls outstanding. We have carryover features like remote communications. This is inclusive of Modbus TCP IP for building management systems. And of course, it still works with our Cat Connect solution that allows for your asset to be monitored remotely. We've also retained our generator protections as well as our paralleling features. These are improved with our new enhanced PLC functionality. We are bringing to market new functionality like the 4 off-package HMIs connected via Ethernet to be placed on site in an engineer's office or security office. And our new auto mains failure operation helping support loss of utility with just a single genset. Now, to dive a little bit deeper into some of these features and functions, I'm going to send it over to my colleague, Josinia Gerdes, in our development lab.
Thanks, Vic. I'm Justinia Gerdes, and I am a Control System Lead for Caterpillar's Integrated Components and Solutions Division. This is our development lab, and this is where it starts. Because this is a controlled lab environment, I can give you a peek behind the curtains at some of the features and functionalities that we've been developing. One of the features I want to demonstrate for you today is AMF, Auto Mains Failure. For AMF, we have the utility power source providing power to the load, and we have the genset power. What you see on the HMI is the genset controller HMI screen. When the genset detects or senses a loss of utility, it will start up and close its breaker to support the load. Due to the loss of utility, you'll see a warning event, which I can acknowledge by pressing the acknowledge button. Once the genset has sensed the utility has returned and it's stable, or the gen to utility transfer delay bypass timer has expired, the power will transfer from the genset power back to the utility power. On the HMI, you'll see the green color as an indicator of a de-energized bus, and then the red color is an indicator of a live bus. As Vic has mentioned, we support enhanced PLC capability. This allows us to leverage Caterpillar logic and patented algorithms into features such as paralleling load sharing. Just like our previous genset controller, we're able to see all gensets on the bus from any single display. Our gensets are communicating over Ethernet using a Caterpillar proprietary protocol, APCDL, Advanced Paralleling Control Data Link. We support up to 4 off-package HMIs. Each off-package HMIs can be independently operated and offers a measure of redundancy to the on-package HMI. When I trigger a not an auto event, I'm able to globally acknowledge the event for both displays. These are just a few of the exciting features that we've been developing in our lab. Our team continues to develop and validate functionality for the CAT Energy Control System product family.
Really interesting to watch, Brian. The ECS really looks sharp, and I know people out there watching are probably wondering now, when is this going to be available? Do you have any insight there?
Yeah, we are thrilled to announce availability of ECS 100 on new gensets in North America and select regions this fall, with rollout globally in 2024. Expect to see ECS 200 in early 2024, followed by 300 and 400 later in the year.
Excellent. Then sort of the follow-up question, Jason, would be, is this something available and supported by CAT dealers?
It is, and they're absolutely critical to the rollout as well. You know, our dealers will be involved with customers up front to make sure that we specify the right kind of control system, the right level of control system to meet their needs. They'll help customers commission the product once it gets on site, and they'll be there, as they always are, through the full life cycle to help customers get the most out of the product to support their business needs.
Well, Jason and Brian, excellent conversation, excellent insight. I want to thank you for your time today and talking about this exciting topic. We're nearing the end of the program, but we're not finished. First, I mentioned earlier that we'd be collecting some questions for you from our audience, and we'll take the opportunity now to address some of those questions that have come in. So, Jason, I want to give this first one to you, and that question is, the new CAT ECS designed to retrofit?
Yes, it is, and the team's thought a lot about that through the development process in order to make it a great retrofittable product, make it easy and simple to do so. We really think that'll be a great value to customers that have our existing product. The new features in the control system, the modern user interface are all going to be really attractive, and we'll be able to go in and offer those retrofit kits to help them upgrade their equipment. We're excited about that.
Excellent. Next question that has come in, Brian, we'll give this one to you. Is CAT prepared to meet upcoming UL 2200 Edition 3 timelines?
Yeah, as of March 2026, all generator sets will be required to meet UL 2200 Phase 3. CAT ECS equipped gen sets will meet UL 2200 Phase 3 at the time of shipment, so we are well ahead of the UL 2200 Phase 3 requirement.
Next question that has come in, Brian, we're going to stick with you on this one, I think. How is CAT ECS prepared to meet the grid code requirements?
Yeah, grid interconnect requirements, or grid code, does vary across the globe and are constantly evolving. And we've designed our system to support the current and the future needs for grid codes. ECS 200 will comply with major global grid codes, including in the US IEEE 1547, the German grid code VDE 4110 and 4120, as well as the European standard for EN 50549.
Excellent. Let's get in one last question. Jason, we'll give it to you. This is a good one here. How does CAT ECS and the Tangent acquisition play together?
Yeah, the Tangent acquisition, it came to us with some really exceptional remote monitoring and dispatch software. And so that software is able to look at things like utility rates and even the weather and turn on and off customers' assets, gensets, energy storage systems. And it works really well with our current control systems. but it's also designed to work with the new ECS moving forward. Both things will be fully compatible, and we're excited about the ECS because it's going to allow us to have even deeper integration with the Tangent software and provide more value to customers moving forward.
Well, gentlemen, thank you again for your time and insights. And to our audience, we appreciate all of you taking time to watch and ask some great questions. We hope you found today's discussion valuable and insightful. So before we wrap things up, Jason, we did cover a lot, but I wanted to give you a chance to let our customers know what you think those key takeaways are that you want them to remember as they get back to work and navigate the global energy transformation as we all go forward.
Thank you. Really 3 things that I would say to focus on from the conversation today. The first would be there's a ton of change in the energy landscape. We talked a lot about trends that were occurring, and we expect those changes to continue. The second would be we as Caterpillar, we're very focused on being able to provide positive energy outcomes with our customers, help them manage those trends in a way that supports their businesses. And the third point would be we're very excited about the new Cat Energy Control System. We talked about it being the brains of our customer system. It's really going to help us provide simple yet powerful solutions with our customers and really help them get the most from their energy outcomes moving forward.
Exciting times for sure, and so much opportunity ahead for everyone. Certainly great products and solutions for our customers watching. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. As always, be safe in all that you do. Go out and make it a great day.